Left Behind, Part 1. For centuries, humanity has pondered one of the most profound questions: where do we come from? The answer had eluded scientists, philosophers, and theologians alike, buried deep within the mysteries of time and space. But in the year 2323, the question was finally answered in a way that no one could have predicted. It began with the arrival. On a clear, calm night, the skies above Earth lit up as a massive, silent spacecraft descended. The world watched in stunned silence as it touched down, revealing visitors unlike anything ever seen before. They were humanoid in shape, their bodies encased in sleek, advanced suits. But it was their eyes that captured the attention of those who saw them. Eyes that held a familiar, almost human expression, as if they remembered something long forgotten. The visitors appeared almost human, but with subtle differences that marked them as otherworldly. They stood slightly taller than the average human, with an average height of around 7 feet. Their bodies were lean and elongated, with limbs that were proportionately longer than those of humans. Their skin had a smooth, silvery hue, with a faint, almost imperceptible glow that seemed to pulse with a soft, internal light. Their faces were striking, with high cheekbones, narrow jaws, and slightly larger eyes that were almond-shaped and deeply expressive. The eyes were the most captivating feature. They were a deep, swirling mix of blues and greens, with flecks of gold that shimmered as they moved. These eyes held an emotion that was unsettlingly familiar, as if they had seen and experienced much of what humans had, but from a different perspective. When they looked at humans, it was as if they were searching for something lost, a connection long forgotten. Their expressions were calm, composed, and conveyed a sense of wisdom and age beyond anything humans had ever encountered. There was a gentleness in their demeanor, but also a profound sadness, as if they carried the weight of many lifetimes of knowledge and experiences. Their mouths, though like human mouths, rarely moved. Instead, they communicated primarily through their eyes and the subtle shifts in their facial expressions, making their intentions clear without the need for many words. The visitors wore sleek, form-fitting suits made of a material that seemed to blend seamlessly with their bodies. The suits were a deep, metallic black, with intricate patterns of glowing lines running across them, like veins of light. These lines pulsated rhythmically, shifting colors between soft blues and purples, and seemed to respond to the visitors' emotions and movements. Despite the initial shock, the visitors seemed prepared. They communicated in a language that, while unfamiliar, bore a striking resemblance to human speech. Their words were complex, mathematical, and precise, as if every syllable was calculated to convey their message. But they had come with a universal greeting, a video message that played across screens worldwide. We come in peace. The visitors were escorted to the world's leading scientists, who quickly realized that the language of these beings was far more mathematical than any earthly tongue. It was a language of logic and numbers, one that hinted at a deep understanding of the universe. And then the revelation came, one that no one had seen coming. According to the extraterrestrials, humanity did not originate on Earth. Their ancestors had come from a distant galaxy, far beyond the reaches of the Milky Way. In their quest to explore and discover new worlds, they had made a brief landing on Earth. But due to a catastrophic fuel shortage, they were unable to leave. Stranded on a young, untamed planet, they had no choice but to adapt to their new environment. Generations passed, and the descendants of those left behind thrived, evolving to fit the conditions of Earth. Over time, they forgot their origins, their history fading into myth and legend. They became what we now know as humanity. The visitors had come not as invaders, but as distant relatives seeking to reconnect with their long-lost kin. Their eyes, so eerily familiar, held the memories of a shared past, a past that humanity had forgotten. But this revelation was only the beginning. There were more questions to be answered, more mysteries to unravel. Why had the visitors chosen to return now, after so many millennia? What secrets did they still hold? And what did it mean for the future of humanity, now that they knew they were not alone in the universe? The world was left reeling, standing on the brink of a new era of understanding, or perhaps a new era of uncertainty. Religious leaders around the world reacted in various ways. Some denounced the visitors as deceivers, sent to test the faith of true believers. They argued that the visitors were trying to undermine the sacred truths handed down through the ages, and that their claims were nothing more than a cosmic trick. These leaders urged their followers to reject the visitors' story and hold fast to their traditional beliefs. Others, however, saw the visitors' arrival as a sign of divine intervention, a new chapter in humanity's spiritual journey. They interpreted the visitors as messengers or even angels, sent by a higher power to guide humanity towards a greater understanding of their purpose in the universe. For these leaders, the revelation was not a contradiction, but a fulfillment of prophecy, a sign that humanity was part of a larger cosmic plan. This divide led to intense conflict within religious communities. Congregations splintered, with some members embracing the new reality, while others clung to their faith with renewed fervor. In some cases, these tensions boiled over into violence, as zealots sought to silence those who questioned the old doctrines. The very foundations of religious institutions were shaken, as they struggled to reconcile ancient texts with the new truths that the visitors had brought. The existential implications of the visitors' revelation were staggering. For centuries, humanity had believed that they were unique, chosen, and special in the universe. The idea that they were the descendants of extraterrestrial explorers, stranded on Earth by chance, challenged this notion and raised troubling questions about humanity's purpose. If humans were not created by a divine being for a specific reason, what then was their purpose? Was their existence merely an accident of cosmic exploration? Were they nothing more than a biological curiosity, the byproduct of an ancient space mission gone awry? These questions led to a widespread crisis of identity and purpose. Philosophers, scientists, and thinkers of all kinds grappled with the implications. Some argued that the revelation freed humanity from the constraints of old myths, allowing them to define their own purpose in the universe. Others, however, felt a deep sense of despair as the idea of a grand cosmic purpose was stripped away, leaving only the cold reality of their origins. This crisis of purpose affected everything from global politics to personal lives. People questioned the meaning of their work, their relationships, and their goals. Some turned to nihilism, believing that life was ultimately meaningless, while others sought new ways to find purpose in a universe that suddenly seemed much larger and more indifferent than they had ever imagined. Conspiracy theorists emerged, feeding on the fear and uncertainty that pervaded society. They claimed that the visitors were not who they appeared to be, that they were part of a vast, sinister plot to enslave or exterminate humanity. These theories ranged from the plausible to the absurd, but they all played on the deep-seated anxieties that the visitors' arrival had triggered. Some theorists claimed that the visitors had been in contact with Earth's governments for decades, and that their arrival had been carefully orchestrated as part of a global conspiracy. They pointed to inconsistencies in the official story, unexplained events, and the sudden appearance of advanced technologies as evidence that something was being hidden from the public. Others went even further, suggesting that the visitors were actually the original inhabitants of Earth and that humanity had stolen the planet from them millennia ago. According to these theories, the visitors had returned to reclaim their home, and the governments of the world were conspiring to cover up this truth to prevent mass panic. The media played a crucial role in shaping public perception of the visitors. News outlets, social media platforms, and independent journalists all vied for control of the narrative, leading to a cacophony of voices and opinions. Some outlets presented the visitors as saviors, heralds of a new age of enlightenment, while others portrayed them as invaders, threatening to upend human civilization. The constant flood of information, misinformation, and speculation created a climate of confusion and distrust. People no longer knew whom to believe or what to think. Social media, in particular, became a battleground of ideas, with users fiercely debating the true nature of the visitors and their intentions. Echo chambers formed, where like-minded individuals reinforced each other's beliefs, further polarizing society. In the midst of this chaos, some saw an opportunity. Politicians, corporations, and other powerful entities sought to exploit the situation for their own gain, using the fear and uncertainty to push through agendas that had long been stalled. The world became a more volatile and unpredictable place, as the truth of humanity's origins became the catalyst for profound and lasting change. This was only part one of the story. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with others who love sci-fi. Your support helps us bring more fascinating stories to life. And if you have any thoughts or ideas, feel free to leave a comment below. We'd love to hear from you. Stay tuned for more adventures in the infinite sci-fi story.